have seen I posted on the Facebook page for this channel that I was up in the attic and I discovered my bag of illustrations and sketches and doodles that I used to do back in the day. And I was flicking through them. I've got lots of things like this. Okay. Um, and yeah, this is the thing where you just sprinkle some paint on a piece of paper and blow it with a straw and then you draw around it. So yeah, back in the day I used to do all sorts of um, doodles and what have you, and little experiments, always of a you know, mythological, historical, legendary things. And we've got that's meant to be Merlin from John Borman's Excalibur there. Excalibur there. You can see I was heavily into Arthurian legends. But then I've also got my little in here somewhere. Where is it? Yeah, I was doing things like this and that. Got anything? I mean, there's all sorts of things in here. That's a sketch I did on Glastonbury tour. That's inside the tower of Glastonbury. Um, and then yeah, I can't remember why I was doing this, but I was looking up different folklore characters and doing illustrations for them. I've got some others somewhere. I don't know where they've all gone, but you can see here I've been writing down out of books. This is back in the 90s. This is way before the internet for researching and stuff. Okay, but the reason I'm doing the video today is I stumbled across this curiosity, and for the life of me, I can't remember why I did it. I I think I had an idea to do something about the Lambton Worm. Now, you may have seen my video. If you haven't, if you scroll back, it might be even the very last video I did was going to the Lambton Worm location in Northumberland. And for the life of me, I cannot recall where I got the actual story from or what I was going to do with this. I've got a vague idea that these are storyboards that I was going to do, and I was going to do some sort of like either small illustrated little edition, or I was going to film them or something. But this was back in the late 90s, I think, and it was definitely before the internet. And I find that curious because where did I get this from? Because when I was researching the Lambton Worm, you know, I say on that video that the first time I encountered it was in a song in the film Lair of the White Worm, and the guy sings the song of the Lambton Worm. Where I actually got this, I'm not even sure if this is the song or it's just a poem. But somehow, before the internet, I've found information that I can't find now, which I find quite odd. So I thought I'd show you this. This is my initial idea of doing something, whether it was an illustrated book or an animation, I don't know. So here we go. This is the Lambton Worm. Apologies for this. I don't think this was ever meant to have ever been shown to anybody. It was just doodles and stuff. So, whist lads and hold your gobs, and I'll tell you an awful story. Work lads and hold your gobs, and I'll tell you about the worm. It goes. And here we are. Look, it's like a storyboard that I've done. And I've put Aylesford here, right? Now, Aylesford is a place near where I grew up. And I'm guessing because it has got a lock there that I was thinking I could film this there. One Sunday morning, Lambton went a fishing in the weir, and catched a fish upon his hook he thought looked very queer. But but what the I can't read my own writing. But what the kind of fish it was, young Lambton couldn't tell. He wouldn't fash to carry it home, so he hoyed it in a well. I've put illus here, so this is like illustration. It's sort of like the beginning of Dad's army with the arrows growing. Now Lambton felt inclined to gan and fight in foreign wars. He joined a troop of knight that cared for neither wounds nor scars. Scars. It's not the best of poems. Engraving, etc. I've put there. And off he went to Palestine, where strange things him befell. I've put com there. I think it's combine. I think it means combine two images. And he very soon forgot about the queer worm in the well. Knights, page 55. I'll have to look back and find my book on knights and look at page 55. Now, took worm got fat and growed and growed and growed an awful size. He had great big teeth, a great big gob, and great big goggly eyes. And when at nights he crawled about to pick up bits of news, here's the awful rhyming again, if he felt dry upon the road, he milked a dozen coos. I guess if you're singing it and the people are drunk, they're not going to notice that the words don't match. This fearful worm would often feed on calves and lambs and sheep, and swallow little bairns alive when they lay down to sleep. And when he had eaten all he could, and he had his fill, so still can't read my writing. He crawled away and lapped his tail 10 times round Lambton Hill. The news of this most awful worm and his queers going on soon crossed the seas and reached the ears of brave and bold Sir John. So home he came and catched the beast and cut him in 2 halves, and that soon stopped him eating bairns and sheep and lambs and calves. So now you know how all the folks on both sides of the weir lost lots of sleep and lots of sheep names I've put there, and lived in mortal fear. I think I was actually going to depict tombstones for sheep with their names. So let's have one to bold Sir John that saved the bairns from harm, saved cows and calves by making halves of the famous Lambton Worm. Oh dear. So there you go. I had completely forgotten I had done this, and wasn't expecting to find it when I got that bag out of the attic. So there we go. Hope you found that interesting, and hopefully before long I'll be back with another visit to somewhere.